violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Detroit's police chief was out in the community tonight reassuring residents that their safety concerns are not going unnoticed after a deadly weekend in the city. Our Terrell Bailey followed along on that walk and has more from Detroit's northeast side.
Walking a Mile Wednesdays. It's a summer tradition Chief White began years ago. The goal is to get in a bit of fitness while also hearing firsthand from Detroiters. After 2 shootings in downtown last week, attendees say it's needed.
Hoping that he will take away the impurities and the flaws in the neighborhood, because not everybody is perfect, but we gotta strive to be that way.
Yeah, and it's sad that the youngins are the ones who are having to lead the way in these initiatives to, attempt at having somewhat of a safe city. It's gotten to a point of almost no return, but it is good to see the community actually coming and stepping out to advocate for stopping the violence and assisting law enforcement in wrapping some of these cases up, because we don't see that normally.
According to the chief, it's important for community members to know they're working for them and that their concerns won't go unnoticed. One way is by tackling youth violence.
We want to make sure that our kids avoid weapons and finding guns or seeing guns and just making poor decisions.
With a wide range of attendees for the walk, others are hopeful future walks will have better attendance, especially to bridge the gap between civilians and police.
We're always in the same environment. You got to go out and explore. You can't just stay in that one place. Just in life, you can't just sit there.
Curbing gun violence is another topic discussed during the walk. According to the chief, some legislation may need to be enacted.
There's no provision that allows you to carry an illegal weapon. And so I'm very interested in working with the councilperson on this issue, Councilwoman Waters.
Residents I spoke to say it is important for Chief White to hold events like these because it's important for the chief to understand the realities that are happening in the city of Detroit. For now, reporting in Wayne County, I'm Terrell Bailey for CBS News, Detroit.
Terrell also spoke with Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist tonight, who says he was close by when one of those shootings happened over the weekend. Here's what he had to say when asked how the violence should be handled.
Kinds of investments that we're making in public safety and all the things that create public safety have to continue. So this is not a theoretical exercise to me. My family, my wife and my 3 children and I, we were on the Riverwalk when that shooting happened. And so I know what this looks like in real life. It's not theoretical for me. And what I also know to be true is that we have to invest in people and invest in communities in order to make them safe. So that means working in partnership with law enforcement like the governor and I have been doing for the last 4 years, more than $1 billion invested in communities to help our law enforcement professionals do what they need to do, have the training they need, but also things like these community violence intervention programs, investing in mental behavioral health support services.
And we've seen how ineffective the quote-unquote violence intervention programs that have at least been implemented have been. So hopefully we do see some type of improvement in what's going on, because these violence intervention initiatives haven't been working that well.
Services, investing in out-of-school time programming so the kids have the confidence to do something other than something violent, because I think every gun death is preventable. I think every shooting is preventable. And this is me from who's lost people in my life who I played ball with in Detroit. We can do something about this and be the administration that works with the community to change that tide for the better. And there are a lot of community leaders in Detroit who are ready to do the same.
Riverwalk right now, very serene. It wasn't quite that way last weekend. This was the scene of one of 6 shootings in the downtown area over the weekend. The mayor said today they were seeing crowds that they haven't seen in decades downtown. So what the police chief is doing, he's moving.
So it looks like what's happening in Chicago is about to happen in Detroit. And it looks like they're trying to prevent it from getting as bad as it is in Chicago, but I don't know, man. I think that there aren't enough. I'm not going to say there aren't enough resources, but there aren't enough people who are going to be willing to do what's necessary to stop these types of large gatherings that ultimately lead to violent nights like we're talking about now.
Up his patrols that he would be doing for midsummer crowds to this weekend with some added features. Take a look at what you'll be seeing downtown this weekend.
And we saw midsummer crowds on an April spring day.
Detroit's police chief wants to make sure this weekend downtown does not look like last weekend. 6 shootings between Greektown and the Riverwalk. 2 people.
Looking very reminiscent of what happened in Chicago. I mean, the community has taken cues from Chicago, and they believe that they can take this, movement all around the country.
People were killed and arrests made in every case.
We are actively looking for people who are illegally carrying weapons. And I've directed it, and I'm unapologetic about it. We've got to keep this community safe.
That would be the headline of the chief's 12-point plan revealed Thursday. What you'll see downtown this weekend, about 10 of these mobile weapon detectors screening for illegal guns.
If you are legally in possession of a CPL and you show that CPL, no problem.
In the crowds, undercover officers or Casper units monitoring for bubbling up beef, relaying information to fellow officers to intervene before it escalates. Waves of kids out after curfew last weekend led to a dozen citations of.
So you heard they're looking out for bubbling beefs. And what did I tell you? We live in an op culture. Yes, that's right. An op culture. Okay, so a lot of these young people are manufacturing ops online and creating enemies out of thin air, solely based off of the strength that they want to participate in the drill culture, which is another thing that we talk about on this channel.
A $500 ticket for parents. You'll expect more enforcement of that too.
This is not about targeting kids. This is about keeping kids safe and making sure that the parents know where their children are.
Traffic flow was a major problem. Police will.
You heard what he said, making sure the parents know where their children are. Sisters, come get your kids.
Keep it moving and be looking for noise violators and anyone driving anything that is not street legal. Officers on horseback, on bicycles, and you'll see some of these familiar community activists pleading to keep the peace.
Well, we can intervene, we can de-escalate, right?
We are today declaring downtown as a no beef zone.
Yeah, glamour shot right now of the Detroit River. But going back to that no beef zone, that's what the community activists are dubbing downtown after we get out of that violent weekend. Also, there's some money in it. If you want to report illegal activity that's going on, Detroit police has a thing called Rewards TV. If you call in a tip and it leads to an arrest on an illegal weapon or an ATV seizure, you can get yourself $250. We'll have more info on our website. Reporting live downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Yes, and just looking over this plan, it is very specific. We'll have to wait and see if it works. But curious, Jessica, did the chief mention anything about the gun-free zone that's being proposed in some of those areas? Any thoughts on that did you discuss?
Yes, he says we support city council, but what he supports even more is constitutionality. It's a big thing for the chief. He says you can't just put up gun-free zones, so there's a lot of intricacies to this, but what they can do is they can put up illegal gun-free zones. So we'll see if that works this weekend. We got 10 of those machines going downtown.
So you heard what he said. They can't put up gun-free zones, but they can put up illegal gun-free zones. I mean, this just goes to show you the criminals are not going to follow the rules. Whether they put up gun-free or illegal gun-free is going to be straps at the function. Okay, so the best that you can do is beef up law enforcement. And when you catch these individuals who are lighting the place up in action, make sure they're prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Otherwise, they're going to be bailed out off of a violent crime, and they're going to go back to their natural habitat. Like I've told you guys before, the super gremlins are on demon time.
They got 20 in their arsenal, and you'll see more of them rolled out as we get busier this summer.
Well, hopefully the community will step up as well. Jessica, thanks.
City Council, meanwhile, discussing today how to establish no-gun zones in the city following shootings downtown more than a week ago.
And now they're asking the state to help. Shaun Lay live in Greektown. Shaun, no-gun zones might take a while to hash out, but so-called no-beef zones are already in place.
No beef zones. Put up a sign, hey, no beef in here. Put up another sign, poo shiesty mask, poo shiesty mask, poo shiesty mask. I mean, the fact that they think that they can negotiate with these super gremlins on demon time is laughable.
Absolutely, and we keep learning more about changes here, especially here in Greektown. Follow me this way. These signs just went up, brand new from the city and police enforcement zone. No alcohol, no loitering, no noise. The city now asking the state to give it some flexibility to actually add guns to this list.
No noise? That's going to be pretty impossible. Being that, I mean, it's impossible not to make noise in general. Even if you're quiet, you're still going to make noise. So they've outlawed noise on this street, guys. So, hey, shh.
Gunfire downtown and in Greektown more than a week ago. Still a major concern for the city of Detroit. Detroit City Council today discussing how to go about establishing gun-free zones.
And it looked like the police maced them to disperse the crowd. I'm rocking with it. Get them up out of there. You can't let Detroit become another Chicago.
In the city, in places like Greektown and beyond.
And I don't have a problem with saying the city of Detroit because, of course, it is definitely an issue throughout this entire city.
Council member Mary Waters with a resolution asking the state to repeal the Firearms and Ammunition Act and allow cities to make its own laws when it comes to guns.
We have areas of just concentrated large, extremely large crowds.
The U.S. Attorney and Detroit Mayor Duggan are clear on the issue. Gun-free zones can be made at churches or schools, but can't prevent a legal gun owner to carry in public places. From gun-free zones to beef-free zones.
It's called the no-beef zone.
Community leader Pastor Mo says no beef zones, no fighting zones have already been established around downtown after police learned of young people planning with each other on social media to come downtown to settle scores. But a no beef zone is going to take a lot of work.
We're going to be down here posted up throughout the whole weekend. Also going to have prayer groups. It's going to be praying over there by the 7-Eleven and over here by the store 12 hours a day.
Back here live, that's just part of it. Pastor Mo also saying, look, they have to connect with young people down here, coming down here, looking to possibly fight. Also, it takes work to monitor social media to see if groups are saying, we're going to come down here and settle a score. So more goes into it like that, being on the street and trying to connect with young people. And then we'll let you know what happens with the city, still working on that resolution to send to the state, asking them for more local flexibility for gun laws. Back to you.
Shaun, police upped the manpower over the weekend. We know that. And now community leaders come in with this no beef zone concept. What else are you hearing?
Follow me this way because this is where security guard Daryl Strotter was shot and killed. Security guards all from the downtown area, the whole footprint. They're coming on their time off to do free security up and down the strip here on weekends as well.
Yeah, good. All right, Shaun.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe, hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga did Quavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all tell me what this is.
Nigga. Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
Reads, love grows here. Lakisha Andrews makes it clear her son Jai-Shaun is the epitome of love.
My son is love. He loved, he passed love. He poured into people. Even when he had nothing to pour, he poured from an empty cup.
But this 24-year-old college grad had his life taken from him on Tuesday.
Dang, bro looked like a skinny Drewski.
Near Schoolcraft in Virgil as he left his grandmother's home to go to work.
She hadn't even been outside 2 minutes. I heard 2 gunshots.
She looked outside and found her grandson on the ground. Frantic, this grandmother ran outside.
I held his hand and he was looking at me. Next thing I know, his eyes closed.
Now this family is asking why. Who would kill Jai-Shaun?
In the Bible it said if you live by the sword, you gonna die by it. My son ain't live by this sword.
Damn. So could it be mistaken identity? You know, they're speaking real emphatically that this brother was not into anything, not involved in the op culture. He was leaving grandma's crib to go to work. You know, sounds like a Malcolm. Sounds like a Malcolm to me. And if you guys don't know what a Malcolm is, you got to check out my other channel, hashtag Reclaim Your Throne. A Malcolm is a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. These are the blue collar guys. These are the guys who work regular jobs, okay? They're on their way to be high value men. All right? So he could have been one of my guys. He wasn't out here trying to thug max. He wasn't out here, you know, participating in op culture, and he still got slid on. Another example of the worst of us taking out the best of us. I've told you plenty of times, these super gremlins do not care. They don't care. Unfortunately, man, they're smoking on a pack right now. These super careless gremlins are on demon time.
Feeling bad. That was my only son.
The family also has concerns about safety in the surrounding area, where 2 Michigan State troopers were also recently shot. This mom is calling on the city's mayor for help.
It's pitch dark over there. Mike Duncan, if you see this, I need you to do something. Help me.
The family states that Jai-Shaun worked for LBJ Trucking, where he was a subcontractor, and there had been some recent break-ins to his company vehicle. Fox 2 reached out to management and were told the company is unaware of the break-ins and there would be no further comment. Fox 2 also reached out to Detroit police, and officials say this investigation is ongoing. As investigators work to solve this case, the victim's mom has a surprising message for whoever killed her son.
I love you. Whatever you didn't get from whoever, I love you.
Wow. I love you is the response to the murderer of your son. I get it. Everybody has their grieving process, but how many sisters do we see doing this where the forgiveness comes before the child is even laid to rest? I mean, his body hasn't even gotten cold yet, and the forgiveness already comes. You know, this is why we continue to say no solutions, because, you know, although we see people trying to get more politically active, socially active when it comes to black on black crime specifically, you know, they want to mask it with gun violence. Let's keep it a buck. It's really, you know, what we're talking about here. It just seems that mentality of everybody deserves a second chance, baby, and you know, you took my baby, so now you gonna be my baby, and I'm gonna treat you like as if you were my son because you took my son away from me. And I just hope that, you know, kill him with kindness type of thing. And I mean, I get it. It's a cope though, and I don't think it's productive to getting true justice, because if you go into that, say they get the perpetrators, they go into the courtroom, boom, boom, bop. The judge is like, okay, you know, and I don't know if Michigan has capital murder, or not capital murder, but the death penalty. But let's just say that the judge gives her an option, death penalty or 25 to life in prison with, you know, possibility of parole. What is she going to choose? Because we need to eliminate these type of people. There is no middle ground, in my opinion. And I think if we don't have that mentality where we need to completely eliminate the rotten eggs, the bad apples, whatever you want to call them, in the community, then, you know, you got to go. You got to go. And it doesn't mean that you have to go like, you know, permanently, like a permanent way, right? You don't have to be deleted, but you can't be involved in the discussion of how to fix the community and get justice, even if you have experienced direct loss from this beast that we call the black community, because this type of rhetoric, in my opinion, is unproductive.
Because I'm a parent. I'm a mother. I love you, sir.
Victim's mom has a surprising message for whoever killed her son.
I love you. Whatever you didn't get from whoever, I love you because I'm a parent. I'm a mother. I love you, sir. You took everything that I had, and I still love you.
Woo! And that's deep. That is deep. This is one of the deepest. I mean, we've heard this rhetoric before, don't get me wrong. But how, you know, adamant she is about the I love you, sir. Like, like it's almost like she's talking ish to him, but then also killing him with kindness. And we all know that this is a heavy cope for the loss of her son, which I understand. And she's trying to, you know, I mean, with all due respect, she's trying to like Christian her way out of the reality that our community has been completely, I mean, it's been completely infected with the demon time mentality and the op culture and the drill culture. And, you know, I just think that this is what she has to tell herself to be able to go to sleep at night, you know? So I understand it. I empathize with it. I don't agree with it.
And despite this mother's pain, this mother is confident that love will bring forth justice for her son.
Still stand on God's word. Justice is going to be served for my son.
In Detroit, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.